everyone, and welcome to the RMTV Women's Podcast. This is episode 73. And God. Amy is back. We are in the office. We are here. We are ready to rock and roll. And we are very happy and excited because we can actually...
Because we're TikTok famous.
Because one, we're TikTok famous, and two, Liverpool.
700 views, going strong.
And second... And not the most important.
No.
Is Liverpool finally won their first league game of the season. We actually won a league game, finally.
I was so chuffed.
Absolutely buzzing. You came to mine to watch it. And I could only watch the first half because I had to go to the United game at home. But like when Rachel Furness scored, we were like, oh my god.
This is not an alarm.
Yeah, like we've actually scored like a goal away from home.
It's actually a good goal as well, you know.
Yeah.
Side volley.
It's a really nice finish, and obviously it was her first goal for the club as well.
Do you know what made me really happy?
What?
When she ran over to Vicky.
Give her a bit of hug.
I was just there like, girl, I'd love to be in that hug too.
Yeah, big group hug.
Honestly.
Really nice. But yeah, like, I think, what was that, second game for us so far? Because obviously the United Gamecock postponed.
Yeah.
And like, I think in those two games, you can see the impact she's made to the team already.
Yeah.
It's like, the Brighton match, she was trying to get herself forward in good position. She was picking out those passes for Rins, like when she was running behind defenders and stuff like that. And obviously, scores the goal to win us the game on Sunday in the right position, right time. And like the whole match, like I've seen the highlights obviously, and like she just seemed to be always just looking to go forwards.
She's always like in amongst the action in terms of like whether that's defending when she needs to or being in the right place for like a throw in or a corner. She's always... I feel like she's one of those players that's really not afraid to shy away from getting the ball at any point, even when she's not expecting to get it.
Yeah.
Like she's always willing to go and try anyways.
Yeah, and I think that's like Dad's like she's experienced, maybe not in the WSL. Obviously she's had like she played for Reading. She obviously went on loan to Tottenham and like was only there like 6 months. So like coming to Liverpool, obviously a big task to like try and fit into the team and try and like make something happen.
Yeah.
But like obviously Northern Ireland International, like she's not brand new into the game. She's not brand new.
And she's
into
played
the
a
league.
lot like with Reading and things like that. So I just like, I think it's nice and fresh to have someone in the team who's already experienced, because as we know, like a lot of our original players have come up from the Championship. Obviously a lot of them were from Donny Bells when they won the league. Although equally we do have a mixture of those who were already well in and around the WSL, but I just feel like the game's changing so much. The more experienced players you can have is like vital, especially at this time, because the younger players like as Rince, as Charles, can look up to them and be like, if they need any sort of advice on how to go about situations, how to be a better player, they can look at players like Furness, like Becky Jane, that'll help them out. Because
like people forget like Rins and Charles like 20, 21, like they're still so young, but because they've been in and amongst the squad for so long now, like 2+ seasons, like
Neve's been in it for the whole
exactly, she's been in it for like a long time, so like for them to like be in and around players like her, Becky Jane, Bradley Auckland, all them, that's doing them the world of good for the future as well, which is like really nice. We could have had more goals. Rins hit the post, and I'm pretty sure Mel hit the post as well.
Might have done, yeah.
So like, that's the thing. That's been our big thing in the league this season, is that we haven't scored enough goals. Like before that one, we'd only scored 3 so far. But like Rins could have had like a hat trick against Brighton.
She like the first 10 minutes could have scored like 2 goals. Yeah, she was in through and then just didn't put enough power on it to get it through.
And then
goal.
The one against Bristol, she put too much power on it. It's the post and comes off.
I think it's about like fine tuning now.
Yeah.
And like we've proved that we can score, and that's been something that we've really not kind of pulled out the bag a lot recently. So maybe now that we've done that, we'll just keep building on
going, yeah. And I think, it could have been a lot different. We could have been talking about the draw here, because Anka Price, love
what a girl,
love you, pulls off a great penalty save. One of the questions, I can't remember, I'm really sorry, I can't remember who it was from, but said like, do you think that's gonna do it? Like, how do you think that's gonna affect her confidence now? Because obviously she's been out the team for a little bit. She had like an injury with her hand, didn't she?
Yeah.
Obviously, that whole blunder at the derby, like, that would have knocked the confidence straight down. But she's come back in for a game, saved the penalty, saved the rebound, had like a really good match. Like, I was following the Twitter updates, like, while I was at the United game, and like it was like 90 plus like 4 or something. I was like, Anchor Price pulls off another brilliant save to like
she's
keep us in
unbelievable.
it.
I think we take her for granted a little bit, or don't give her as much credit as she probably deserves. But you're looking at someone who has probably saved us so many points over the course of like the 2 seasons that she's been there. So we probably should give her more credit where credit's due. Like, especially when she saves the penalty. It was a good height for it, to be fair. It wasn't the best penalty I've seen. No. But, like, equally, 9 times out of 10, they might go in.
Yeah, you've still got to save it, haven't you?
Yeah, you've still got to save it at the end of the day. And then to, like, pull off another save for, like, the rebound shot as well. Yeah. It's, like, fair play, love. Yeah. Well in.
And then, obviously...
Especially when you're riding on not conceding, because
literally,
you need to win this
game. But, like, I was thinking, would she have even been starting if Kitchen didn't have that injury?
I'd probably say yes. I think as much as I value Kitching as a keeper, I think my first choice would probably be Preuss. Yeah. I think she is a better close range shot stopper, and I think, especially against a team like Bristol who score goals in and around the box, and who might be able to just nick a goal when it needs to be done, I feel like she was probably the better option. Yeah. That's no, like, sly on Kitchen at all. No. I still think she's a fantastic goalkeeper, but I think if Anchor Preuss is fully fit, a fully fit Preuss will be probably chosen over a fully fit Kitchen for now, yeah. Yeah,
well, obviously, Kitchen did get that injury. We haven't seen it. Should we put a picture?
If you don't like gore, away now.
Don't look yet. But, like, it's a nasty injury. Like, right on her forehead here. Like, studs, like, went through. Yeah. Like, nice. She's going to have a lovely little scar there. But yeah, so obviously she wasn't in the squad. She's probably not going to be in the squad for like a little bit.
It's 2 to 3 weeks, apparently.
2 to 3 weeks, okay. So Heaps was on the bench. Yeah. Like, it's one of them where you think, oh, it's nice that you've got like the academy to sort of dip into. But then as us sitting here, we don't know what she's like. We don't know.
If I'm being brutally honest, I'd never heard of her.
Exactly. Like, we don't know who she is. You don't know how old she is. You don't know, like, whatever,
what she's got to give, sort of thing.
Is this where like it now comes into play of like how deep is your squad, like how many players do you have? Because it's not the case of going and buying another keeper or bringing in another experienced keeper, because you've then got 3 goalkeepers to choose from, which is going to be a headache for Jepson and like her staff in picking the squad, and no one's going to want to come and be third choice if they've been another team where they're first or second.
I feel like that we've got other areas that we need to strengthen in above a goalkeeper. I think because it was a freak accident, it's not like Kitchen or Preuss are prone to being injured, or they're injured like 9 times out of 10. Like, I don't think that's the case. So I think if we had an injury-prone keeper, one, we'd probably get rid of them and bring in someone who would be a however many games player a season. And 2, because neither of them are injury-prone, touch wood, I think the situation's fine. Like, it was a freak accident. It's not. It's not like she's pulled a muscle.
Like, oh, Kitchen's out with a cough.
It wasn't
again,
her. It wasn't like her fault, sort of thing. So, I think it's just difficult timing, and I don't think you'd sort of rush and be like, oh, we need to find a goalkeeper. I don't think that's the case. I think there's a lot of different areas that you need to put first, rather than the goalkeeping position, because we've got 2 solid keepers there who are fit majority of the time. Yeah. So I think that it's okay. Yeah. The area that I'm worried about is probably the centre forward striker area, because no one seems to be sort of filling that role.
No, like Rins has done it the last like 2.
But I much prefer Rins on the wing, because she's just so much quicker, and she can then cut in onto either side from coming inwards. But there's just no one who's sort of poaching goals in the box or making those run in behind. It doesn't really seem to be happening there. Yeah. Like, whether that is Rins up top. Kirsty, I think she's much better in the number 10 role. Yeah. And then Sweetman-Kirk's not got off to a brilliant start this season.
What do you think it's going to take for Sweetman-Kirk to get herself back in that position? Because
I really don't know. I just feel like she's just a player that doesn't look like she's got much confidence at the moment. And although, to me, from the outside, she looks like a brilliant trainer. When she's in training, she always puts 100% effort, along with all of the girls, realistically. But I just don't think it's falling for her at the moment.
Yeah, she's just going through a sticky patch.
She is, and it's upsetting because she did so well for us. Like, she was our saving grace last season alongside Price as well.
Yeah.
So it's like...
Be interested to see if she starts against Blackburn on Sunday. Obviously, cup, like...
You'd hope so.
How much is she going to rotate the squad? Because, you've got a week to recover still. So.
I think we'll see some of the fringe players. Yeah. So I reckon an Amy Rodgers might come in.
Ashley Hodgson might start.
That sort of thing. I think you'll keep... I reckon you'll keep the two
centre-backs. Might play. Get her back into
Clark.
It. Yeah.
This is that game couldn't have come for them at a better time. Obviously, both were on the bench against Bristol, so then maybe you're thinking, they're going to start.
Yeah, be interesting.
Because Leanne Robe needs a break.
She does. But we'll do our you'll know our start 11 in the build-up
next show. Yeah.
Video that'll go out on Friday. News. News then. Mel Lally. 100 appearances.
Well done, girl.
100 WSL appearances on Sunday for her against Bristol. Yeah. Like, what an achievement that is. Like,
I didn't even realise.
Yeah,
like that many.
If you said, you put Mel Lally amongst like those other players that have,
like, she's up there with now Laura Coombs, Jill Scott, Tara Williams.
You wouldn't think she's been around for that long, because she's still like a young, like, talented player. Yeah. But like, don't forget, she was like a proper frequent starter for City for quite a bit,
and she started quite young as well.
Yeah, exactly. So like 100 WSL appearances is like proper good achievement.
Yeah,
really.
I want to say I've done that, but I don't think I ever will.
One day, Amy. One day. Yeah, obviously we spoke about the Fran Kitching injury. 3 to 4 weeks you've put on here.
Yeah, that's what it says on the LFC website.
You said 2 to 3 before though.
Did I? Meant 3 to 4. Sorry.
3 to 4.
About a month.
Yes. Announcement that came out this morning that we were like a bit shocked about was so obviously last week we spoke about Eni Aluko retiring, like announced her retirement from football, which is really sad. And she put at the end of like her
also, can we have that photo yet? Or
still waiting on that photo.
It's been nearly a year.
Yeah, literally. We need to find out who's the email about that.
It's just not going to happen, is it?
No. We'll just make one. We'll just Photoshop one. But obviously at the end of her, she wrote like a letter sort of type thing, and she said like, like, I am still going to be involved in football, but like she didn't tell us to what capacity. But it was announced this morning that she's now Aston Villa Women's new sporting director.
What's a sporting director? What do
they
do?
Tom, what does a sporting director do?
I think like just thinks about signings and the style of play and stuff.
Signings and the style of play, apparently.
So that's what a sporting director is. That the definition?
She's gonna be very busy.
She's gonna be a busy gal. You know what? I'm just confused. Like, I'm not confused about Aston Villa's weird. She's from the south. Yeah, pretty sure. Played football for Chelsea, which is in the south. Probably lives in the south. Does loads of BBC stuff in the south.
Yeah.
Why Villa? Villa's well far away from
London. Why Villa? That probably is the question. Like, why them?
And that's their first ever sporting director. They've never had one before.
Yeah.
So, organisation and administration, facilities supervision, hiring and management, funding and budget.
Oh, she's in charge of the dosh.
She's got a job on her hands.
Could you be asked? Well, yeah, good. If it means I get paid, you know what I mean? I was just thinking because Villa might be going up into the WSL 1 because they're top of the table at the moment, so maybe she's been like...
Well, it's them, and I think like Sheffield are like the front runners at the minute, aren't they?
Yeah.
In that. But still.
Weird. Villa's far. Unless she's doing like a work from home kind of thing. You never know.
Yeah. I don't think it'll be a work from home thing. I think she'll be very hands on. But like...
Maybe she just wants to live in Birmingham. Is Villa in Birmingham?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe she just wants to live there.
I mean, it's like it's a really good like job to have. She's in like she said she's gonna be like she's looking for towards the future of like women's football. So maybe like Aston Villa, like you said, up and coming team from the Championship. Like,
have they ever been in the WSL? I feel like they haven't.
Not to my knowledge, but they probably have. I don't know. But like, I've lost my train of thought now.
I'm so sorry I interrupted you.
The future of women's football.
Yeah, so like obviously women's football is like up and coming, but more money being pumped into the game. And if Aston Villa do get promoted to WSL, like more money, more funding will come to them.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's obviously only got the best interest of women's football and the club at heart. She's not in it for herself, sort of type thing. Whereas, like, think of a lot of sporting directors, some of them are just in it to make
maybe she just wants to see how it all works.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe she's got a degree in it. Maybe she's got a
She probably has.
Well, we don't know.
Love
you, Lenny.
I'll read a book and let you know.
Oh God, yeah, you've got it.
I've got the book, but I haven't started reading it yet.
Can I read it after you?
Yeah, I might wait until we go on holiday though.
Oh, you.
So, I'll just pass it to you.
Just pass it to me over the sunbed.
Yeah, so. Be alright.
I'll go catch it on the side of the pool.
Yeah. You wrote about this bit, so do you wanna take the lead?
It was just that they I don't know if they announced it last week or this week, but BBC is going to be covering every single England game in the She Believes. Whoop. And then it's going to be covering the FA Cup 4th round games. Either on BBC Red Button or iPlayer or like BBC 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever.
Love that.
And apparently BBC is the only UK broadcaster of women's football, European Championships and Team GB stuff at the Olympics, so they're the only ones that do it in the UK.
When do the Olympic squads get announced?
Dunno, mate.
Right, because USA
Pretty sure they already have. USA
have announced their like Olympic qualifiers squad, which like the games like next week, I think.
Well, when do we have any?
But yeah, like when's ours?
Phil, put it out.
I'm confused, but then I seen Emma put an article up this morning, saying that Phil Neville said he's only going to have 30 days to pick his squad.
He's leaving it a bit fine.
That's not a long time, Phil, because he can pick from obviously England, Scotland.
I bet he's there. I don't know any Welsh players.
I'm gonna
have to have a look into them.
Literally, but like I think
that's what I'd be like. Ew, what?
Ew, yeah. I think he's gonna have. It's not a big squad. You can only have like.
But you've got to think. Surely he's going to be biased to England players.
Oh, he's gonna be biased 100%. 100%.
So, how's that gonna work?
100% he is. It's just what it is, isn't it?
That's mad. That's like getting Jurgen Klopp to pick a team of Liverpool and Everton players. All he'd pick is Liverpool players.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's good Scottish players, aren't there?
Exactly. So like,
yeah, but would you want to be like? I feel like if I was an England player and my coach was Phil Neville, and I'd been picked in the Olympic squad, but I wouldn't be starting over like a Scottish player, I think I'd be a bit fuming.
No, but like you've got to think like Erin Cuthbert is like a boss player.
Yeah,
but like. Yeah, but okay. So who would you have? She plays like she plays like midfield, doesn't she?
Fran Kirby.
She's been what? Where is she? Where is Fran Kirby?
Georgia Stanley.
I don't reckon she's go. I don't think she goes. You know.
Really?
I don't think she goes.
Oh my god.
That's
a big call to make.
I couldn't pick a squad, but by law, by like the rules of the game, you have to have 3 keepers. So there's 3 places gone already just on your keepers. And that's Bardsley, Earps, Telford.
You're not picking keepers. That Scottish keeper?
Well, exactly. Like, who's he picking?
I don't know.
Exactly. But, like, there's 3 places gone. I think you can only have 18 in a squad for the Olympics. So, like...
But, like, if people get injured, you can bring someone else in, can't you?
Yeah, you'd probably be able to swap them out and stuff like that. But, like...
That's a heavy salad, that.
Exactly. So he's got a tough job there.
It's not me.
Very tough job, yeah. I'm glad it's not me, like...
I know.
Either way, he's going to get criticism for whatever squad he picks, because he always does. I criticise his World Cup squads. Yeah, exactly.
It's one of them, isn't it? Whatever job you're in, you always get criticised. He can handle it better because he's obviously been involved in footy before. So
don't think he's bothered, does he?
No.
Doesn't care, does he?
No. That reminded me of Jeremy Clarkson then, because he's like, no. No?
No. No. What's a TikTok?
Sorry. No.
We got a question from at LFC Posts 6 that says, what do you think about the Conti Cup semi-finals being the same day as the men's Manchester derby, especially with both Manchester clubs in the semis? It seemed like it could affect attendance. So Man City play Arsenal away and Man United have Chelsea at home. Now, where is the men's Manchester derby? Is it at United? I think it is, isn't it?
Well, it's either at City or United. It's in Manchester.
Oh yeah, no duh. But I think United. I think United beat City.
No.
I think United beat City at the Etihad, didn't they?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure they did. So I think it's at...
No, it's...
They did.
Oh,
It's at Old Trafford, isn't it?
in the league?
In the... yes.
Or the Football League Cup?
Not the Football League Cup, no one's asked about that.
Is that the Carabao?
Yes. The Carabao. It's a name for a pub. Go in the Carabao.
Oh!
It's at United.
Yes, it's at Old Trafford.
I've got a question at the end of this as well, thank you.
Okay, so I think if it was... If City women were at home, I don't think it'd make much difference. Either way, their attendance is going to be affected because Arsenal away. It's a long trip, that. It's a long journey down.
To be fair, City are usually quite good because they hire a bus.
Exactly. But then it's like, well, I think they'll be alright because it's not at the Etihad. I think
United also.
It's United women who will suffer because obviously they're at home.
Yeah.
I mean, the stadiums are exactly like next door to each other.
Well, if you think of it like if it was Liverpool men and Liverpool women playing at the same time.
But there has been a case of last season the both the derbies.
It frustrated me that, like, for example, you couldn't watch the second half. Just move the kick-off to an hour earlier.
Yeah.
The girls were already in Bristol the night before. Move
like
an hour earlier, and then everyone can watch till the end, then go and follow
like normally our kick-offs are 2:00.
Yeah.
But for some reason on Sunday it was 3. So, like...
Usually you've got enough time between the women's game finishes to go and watch the
Well, we would have, because the women's game would have finished at, like, 4:45.
Yeah.
And we don't have to leave ours till 4:00 to get to the stadium.
Yeah.
So, like, I would have been plenty of time. But, like, I missed the whole... So, like, I was literally sitting in the match, like... We got there a little bit early, so I was watching it on, like, the FA player. But then I was, like, refreshing Twitter. Yeah. Like, while I'm sitting at my seat, which I don't like doing. I don't like having my phone out at the match. But, like, it's an important game, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
for, like,
especially like winning as well.
So, like, every 10 minutes I was just, like, refreshing and seeing. And I seen it was, like, 90+5. And I was like, oh, God. Yeah, so, like, but yeah, exactly.
It's stupid. They need to sort it out, and I'm saying it now.
Kick-off times are silly. Like, the Blackburn game on Sunday is 1:00. We're going, by the way. We're driving. Amy's driving. We flipped a coin for it, and Amy got it, so...
Well, so you're out the night before, so I 100% am.
I am out tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday.
You absolute mad woman.
Yeah.
I couldn't hack that. Couldn't do it. Anyways, enough about Lauren's drinking habits. Definitely an alcoholic.
I'm not. I didn't have a drink I drove to the quiz on Monday.
Well done.
Drink, thanks. I felt very proud.
Are you drinking tomorrow night?
Yeah.
Are you drinking Friday night?
Yeah.
Saturday night?
Bongos Friday night. I've got no choice but to drink.
Saturday night?
No, I don't know. I don't know what the score is with that, actually, so we'll see. We'll see what goes down. But yeah, another question we got was from the final question, actually. This is it.
Oh, wow.
That's all we've got. Feel like we ran through that quite quickly.
We've done well.
We did.
What time are we on?
24.
Yeah, it's alright.
It's alright, yeah. From at Corey L. Davies, or Davis, I don't know how you pronounce it. What's your preference? What? Some people say it differently.
What's your preference?
What? Because I had a teacher in school whose name is spelled like that, but her name is Miss Davis. No. Yeah. Yeah. Silences on that one, didn't I? Got no reply there. He has asked, I've seen so many people saying about Rins how she is sometimes greedy. I highly rate her as she creates so much and she has a striker's instinct. Would love to hear your views on this one. I agree. I think she does have a striker's instinct.
I do and I don't. I do think she can sometimes be a little bit subject to overplaying it, and it does come across as being greedy. But if you think this all happens you have a split second to make a decision on whether to pass it or whether to shoot.
Yeah.
And yes, 9 times out of 10 you might get it right. 9 times out of 10 you might get it wrong. Like, it's just the way that it happens. I think it's frustrating for someone if you think we're seeing the game from a completely different angle. They are seeing it from it being there. We are watching it from afar, so we can see, oh, maybe there is a better pass there, maybe there is a better pass there. Like, it's different. So to her, what might have seemed like the better option to us might not have seemed like a better option, and that's just her as a footballer knowing her knowledge and us knowing our knowledge.
It's like there's times where, like, us sitting up high in a stadium can see a pass that's
the
on
top of Prenton Park.
Literally the top row if we sit like
where
like the tables are.
It.
I like it. I think it's nice. I've got somewhere to put my laptop.
Yeah, but it's so high up I can't deal with the stairs.
So moan. moaning all the time.
I like to be in and around the action.
But like us sitting up, like we can see, oh, there's a pass out wide. But here, like on the pitch, running full pace at like a defender, she's not gonna be able to see Mel Lally making the run over there, is she? So she might try and like go round the defender or whatever and try and get a shot off. And it may not look like the best option, but like you said,
For her,
that's the only option that she can see. So
well, she thinks the one that's got the best outcome.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think I wouldn't call her a greedy player.
No.
Like, she's still young. Like,
I think sometimes she could probably learn from making the pass a bit earlier, things like that. But also, I think she's doing really well for the team at the moment in terms of she's just got that pace.
Yeah.
And it works really well, and she links up quite well. So I think she's doing really well. I think I'd love to see a few more goals.
Yeah.
Now and again. But I have no complaints.
No complaining here. We like Rins. Nice gal. Yeah, that's it. Podcast over, done, finished, finito. No, nothing else to chat about, I don't think.
What would you call your bar? Oh yeah, Tom, we've got a question. If you was to open up a pub, what would you call it? This was Lauren's question earlier.
Can I answer after the show?
I mean, do you not want the viewers to see it?
Is it rude?
No, I just don't know.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
probably should have asked you at the start of the show.
It'd be like the Red Lion, because it's...
Yeah, but you've got to have something that's like, because when you say I'm going to the pub, or like, so Amy, you were saying Amy's granddad goes, what's it called?
Beagle.
So he goes, I'm just going the Beagle, but it's not just called the Beagle.
It's like a
called
longer name, but you want to be able to just shorten it and say like, I'm going here.
Okay.
Not just like I'm going to the Richmond pub.
So yeah, so like
I'm going to like.
So like
Richmond.
the pub I go to for the quiz is called the Richmond Tavern, but I'm not gonna go. I'm going to the Richmond Tavern for the quiz. I just go. I'm going to Richmond. Or like I live near West Derby Village, just I'm just going to Sefton, but it's called the Sefton Arms.
Yeah, see what I mean.
So like the Carabar's a good one.
Like Spoons is a good one. I'm just going Spoons.
I'm just going Spoons.
Yeah.
I'm just going the Carabao for a drink. Like that's a good one.
I don't like it.
Do you know? I think that's good. Like if you're saying you're going, like the Brookhouse is just called the Brookhouse, isn't it?
Going the Brookie.
No, you just I'm just going the Brookhouse.
I don't go, so.
And then where do you go?
Wow. Immature, Tom. Immature.
This is a 12 rated podcast.
This is a family friendly podcast. How dare
We're
you?
putting that out.
We can't put this for kids now.
I know, obviously not.
Let us know in the comments below what you call your pub.
Tom,
if you are 18 and over,
out Tom's one.
if you are 18 and over and of legal drinking age, please tell us your
or
pub.
if you go before 9 p.m.
and don't consume alcohol.
Don't drink and drive.
We're gonna go now. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Remember to like the video, comment, subscribe to the channel. Keep your eyes and ears peeled for build a video that will go out on Friday. And if you go into the Blackburn game, come and say hello. We will be there. But yeah, thanks for watching, and we will see you all next week with a new podcast. Ta-ra.